Welcome to the Help Me Rhonda show this week, guys. I'm really excited about today's show. You know, the world is shifting, and there was a recent study that was done that said that 83% of Americans are close to burnout. I mean, look at what's happening right now in the world, right? We are getting so much pressure, and there's so many things that are happening. How do we actually get ourselves back to balance? How do we get ourselves back to a space that allows us to create a clear head, to focus on what we're meant to do, and more importantly, execute and bring it into our business? Well, today's guest, guys, is going to be really incredible because she not only has created an amazing empire that's helping health and wellness practitioners not only create a heart-led business, but create more sustainability and more profitability. Her past is a marketer in some large companies, and she went through an illness that almost left her burned out and quitting what she was doing and really more destitute. Instead, she took her knowledge and took her body and not only healed herself, but turned it into the most amazing business that's helping other people thrive. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Help Me Rhonda show, Kristin Thomas. Hi, Kristin. So great to have you here today.
Hey, Rhonda, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
It is really great to see you. Okay, so first off, I want to do some congratulations to you because you've been doing some unbelievable things. You were recently featured in Forbes magazine sharing your story. Why don't we just start there and tell us a little bit about how your chronic illness almost left you burned out, and then you took that and turned it not only into an incredible business, but now you're helping other people thrive in their personal businesses as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so honored to be featured in Forbes in a full page article to talk about this journey in a way that I had never talked fully about before. I was diagnosed in 2012 with an autoimmune condition called ulcerative colitis, which, for those of you who don't know, it's an autoimmune gut health condition. And this was at the height of my marketing career. I was the head marketer inside a fast growing startup company. And it was really, really stressful to be dealing with an illness that was just spiraling out of control to the point where, I wasn't feeling well day to day showing up at work. And so I had to make some pretty serious changes to my lifestyle and everything about my health in order to turn things around. So one of the first things that I did was I asked for help, and I got somebody to help me with my health because it was literally taking me out of my career. Like I wasn't be able to even show up well in my job. And so I ultimately found alternative healing, alternative wellness that brought me into full remission. And through that journey, I was just so inspired by how quickly I was starting to feel better and get into remission after years of struggling with medications that weren't working, and the looming procedures that my doctors wanted to do that just didn't resonate with me. And so once I got into remission and started to feel so much better, I was still here in my marketing career. At this point, I was running my own marketing agency, and something inside me told me this health and wellness thing is actually really, really exciting. And it just lit me up in a way that had never before in my career. And so I actually decided to become a certified holistic health coach and then a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner so that I could help people just like me who didn't know that they had options with their health and that they could actually get better and really take control of their health. And so I went to school, did all the work, studying while I was still running my marketing agency. And as soon as I graduated, I launched this business, and it just skyrocketed up in terms of, I had a client wait list within the first 6 months. Our social media following grew and grew and grew. My programs were selling out. It was honestly a dream. But what was really interesting was that as time went on, more and more health coaches and alternative wellness practitioners started following me, on Instagram, Facebook, all these channels that I was on. And over time, I got more and more messages from them, asking me how did you build your website? How are you doing your social media? And how is it working so well? How are you selling out your programs, like how are you doing all the things? And to me it was kind of second nature, because I had been doing marketing, for the past 7 years in my career, and I went to college for this, so this was just kind of my bread and butter, so to speak. But a light bulb went off in me one day that really, awakened me and said, I think there's something here. And it was kind of like a nudge from the universe, that was just like, I think there's something even bigger here for you than, just helping the people that you can help inside this health coaching business of mine. What if instead I could bring my marketing and entrepreneurship skills that I had for these past many years prior into the health and wellness space and help these dedicated and super passionate and talented practitioners that didn't know how to run their business or do marketing or do sales, to bring in those skills that I had to help them do that so that they could reach the clients they want to reach and enroll the clients they want to enroll and make the revenue and the impact that they wanted to make in the world.
Okay, so I've got to stop you because this is so powerful. All right, I'm loving this. You just gave me goosebumps because I got to see a vision of someone that you were chronic illness, you turned it into your own health and wellness business. And then because of your marketing background and the expertise that you had, you then took, okay, I'm really great at teaching health and wellness. However, I've got this marketing background. So these people are watching you. And I love this so much because on our show, of course, we talk about sexy brands, right? And for me, a sexy brand is someone and a company that just knows really who they are and they know how to connect with their market. And I think so many people, Kristin, they get lost in like all this marketing stuff, right? So you were really able to take your knowledge and what you knew and actually turn that into a successful, like new way of thinking and help others learn as well. And you were really able to turn it into now a way that you not only can use your expertise, but you can use your passion and really show others how to create an incredible business. So tell us more about that. What does the Health and Wellness Business School, what specifically makes you guys so unique? And what are some of the results that people are having?
Yeah, so really the mission behind the Health and Wellness School is to help thousands, multiple thousands of dedicated and super passionate alternative wellness practitioners to learn the business, marketing, and sales skills and confidence that they need to grow and scale their businesses. And what's really unique about the Health and Wellness Business School is that, we're not just your average business coaching or marketing coaching company and programs. It really fuses in my marketing background of the last decade plus that I've been doing this stuff, and my entrepreneurship background of having run, this is now my third company that I founded. And so it infuses a lot of that knowledge that I've had by working with so many companies through my marketing agency and through the Health and Wellness Business School. I've seen what works in terms of marketing and building a business across the board for all sorts of companies. I've seen every strategy and tactic rolled out. I've seen what works and what doesn't work, what works at different phases in the business. So I've really been in the trenches and I've done all of these things. And so I teach from a very practical, tried and true, been there, done that standpoint. And it's not just based on, one isolated success point, right? This has been across the board and building for the last 10 years. So there's so much expertise and experience that I really bring into my trainings. And because I've built, this exact business too, I can help my clients at a really deep layer to help them understand, as an alternative wellness practitioner, how you need to, do your copy in certain ways, right? Because there's certain things as a wellness practitioner that you can and can't say legally. And, certain things with your sales process and with, running your business and working with clients that are different than other types of businesses. There's a lot of nuances in this field. And so, I also gather from my 4.5 years of running my own successful functional health coaching practice and bring that in so that I can help them from a really deep, place, not only with how to grow and scale the company, but also how to really operate powerfully inside the company itself by working with your clients and bringing them through, their own healing journey and their own protocols.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. I mean, it's really powerful because to have someone, especially in health and wellness, like I think most practitioners, would you say that they really don't have really a marketing background at all. So a lot of times you've got these incredible people that go through this wellness training and they're certified. However, they just don't know how to get their message out there. I see that a lot in my work as well. I'm like, gosh, you are so talented. However, they lean more on their expertise, but unfortunately, your expertise isn't what's going to get it out there. So the marketing piece is so vitally important. What are some strategies then that you use that helps your clients really get out there, that is not as I guess scary, right, or as difficult for them to get started with? Because I think that could turn a lot of people away, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And from my experience, running a successful business and doing marketing and sales doesn't have to be as scary as it can seem. And you're right. A lot of these practitioners, go to these incredible schools, learn so much knowledge that can help people in ways that it helped me in my own healing journey. But they don't cover the business side of things. So they come out of these schools and kind of are like, now what, right? What do I do? And so that's exactly, the gap that we fill. And so, one of the biggest places that we start is by helping them to have human to human conversations, right? Marketing doesn't have to be this impersonal thing where you're just, shouting at somebody or talking like you're, an advertisement on TV and not feeling like your own human being, right? Because when you recognize that the person at the other end of, the screen on Facebook who's reading your post or watching your Instagram live or whatever it is another human being just like you. And so one of the biggest things that I teach my clients is how to really step into their own voice and share their unique knowledge, like really tapping into what I call their zone of genius. Like, what is it that you know so well and that you're so passionate about that you can really share with the world, and they're going to feel your heart and your passion and your expertise in that. And so I teach them, how do you do that? And how do you, portray that in your content? And we give, we walk people through, how do you create a content strategy so that you can portray and explain the right messages to your audience in the right way? And then how do you form, an effective social media post, for example, or a Facebook Live or an email, whatever, marketing platform that you are using? How do you then take that message that you have in your zone of genius and actually convey that to connect with your audience? And I hear from my clients all the time who are using this process, whether it's on social media or somewhere else, oh my gosh, I've gotten, like one of my clients told me earlier this week, I've had 3 people reach out to me and book consults because they said that my content was speaking to them, or that this was coming at the perfect time for them because this exact thing I talked about was coming up for them and they needed support with it. And that's the power of just being really tapped into your audience and then being able to speak in a really genuine way. So we cover, copywriting techniques like that are just really easy to adapt and just bring into your day to day. It's not any like fancy, algorithm things or whatnot. And then how to really understand what type of topics you should be speaking about in your marketing channels. And even inside your programs and within the programs that you do create in the first place and promote. So there's so many different angles that we cover. That's one of the biggest ones though that we start with, because if your message, this, if your message doesn't land with your audience, then nothing's going to transpire in your business. You're not going to attract the right clients, and you're not going to have the revenue that you want because nobody is resonating with your message. So I believe that it really all starts with that.
Yeah, I cannot agree with you more, and I absolutely love this because I see this about your marketing. In fact, you really share a lot of vulnerability in your marketing, and I do you think that really helps the audience connect with you? I mean, obviously your background stands for what you can do, but do you think the vulnerability piece that you share in your posts and the way that you connect help your clients say, "Wow, she's just like me"?
Mm, yeah, it's a very intentional decision that I made in terms of like what level of vulnerability I wanted to transpire inside my marketing. And that really started actually back when I was running my functional health coaching business. Was, do I want to really open up about the ins and outs of my journey with ulcerative colitis? And I decided, of course, I need to, because there's so many other people out here like me who are dealing with these same things and feel hopeless and alone and like they're the only one. And I knew that wasn't the case. So as soon as I saw the power of when I opened up with my story and how rapidly the right clients started to come to me and started to work with me, I just knew that I was onto something, right? So when I started the Health and Wellness Business School, I applied the same principle because I knew that, that this audience also had a lot of things, has a lot of things going on that I've also dealt with because, even as an expert marketer and entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that some days aren't hard for me to be vulnerable with things, or, that certain strategies weren't difficult for me to implement, right? Like we all as entrepreneurs have our own struggles and have our own, things that we need to work towards. And that's part of the journey, and that's part of the beauty of it. And so, I would be inauthentic to say that, myself and my company are perfect all the time, right? Because nobody is. And so I like to really open up with them and let them know that, it was really hard for me as a health coach to, even as a trained copywriter, to open up about my story with ulcerative colitis. It was tough to talk about it, and things like that, So I really speak from that level, and it really comes from my heart, and the people that have gone through that in their own business and in their own lives really resonate with it. So I find that storytelling is just so powerful. And it's why, you think of like stories that are passed down from generation to generation, or even hundreds or thousands of years, why does that happen, right? Human beings love stories, and that's how we relate to each other. So it's not about just, sharing your message, just blasting your message everywhere and hoping that people, will resonate with it, and just, trying to preach to them certain things like eat more kale or do this or that, right? It's how can you tell your story in a way that your ideal clients are going to be like, hey, that's me. These are the things that I think about. These are the things that I do. That's what human to connect connection is really about. And that's, so much of what I teach my clients. And as a coach, I want to be leading by example, of course, and be doing that in my own marketing, because that's what worked for me. And now my clients are seeing that work for them so powerfully and so beautifully.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I love it. I mean, it's nothing like being able to use like what you do best and allowing someone else to shine through it. And that's really been part of my favorite part of my journey as an entrepreneur as well, to be able to figure something out and then to translate that into someone else's life or their business is just so rewarding. And I'm with you. Storytelling, it's everything, right? That's why kids, they love stories, because we remember stories and it allows us to connect so much. And I just think it's really beautiful. And it could sound as if it was foundational, like, oh, this is entry level. However, that is the absolute foundation that I tap in with every piece of marketing, anything that we do in PR. It's about a story. Like if you can get someone to relate to you, boom, now you've not only caught their attention, you've helped serve them, you've provided them value, but more importantly, you've connected them to you. And I think more than ever, the world deserves and needs more stories. They need more connection. They need more real life scenarios. And I think more than ever, Kristin, the work that you're doing, I believe, with this thing happening, across the world, this virus and all these, these things coming up, people are tapping more deeply into health and wellness, ways to heal their body, improve their immunities, right? To take complete control. And I think right now you are in the absolute best position, because not only are people going to want to learn this, they need to learn how to be a marketer. And I think that you have such a perfect combination. Can you share with us a bit about the program? Like how do you work with people? Is it monthly? Is it 6 months? Like how long do you work together? Is it live? So that the audience can really understand what it would be like if they were to work with the health and wellness, business school.
Yeah. And I just want to touch on, I so resonate with why now is just such a powerful time for practitioners to be doing what they're doing, because, yeah, everything with the virus has really brought about a new collective awareness across the world about our health and how fragile, it really is and can be. And so it was so exciting to see my clients really show up in a new way, especially in the height of the pandemic. And it was just so beautiful to see so many of my clients actually landing some of their highest paying clients and having some of their biggest months yet. Several of my clients landed 5K, clients, and one of them even had her highest revenue month yet of $16,000 as a health coach that she never thought was even possible, in the midst of the pandemic, in a time where, everyone thought the economy was collapsing and no one was spending a dime on anything. And it wasn't just about, for these people, just about the money. Really at the heart of it was that they were just so excited to be supporting people during such a momentous time. And so, inside of our programs, inside Six Figure Formula, we really walk them through step by step what steps you need to be taking, whether you're a brand new health and wellness practitioner or you've been at this for some time, exactly what you should be working on. So we cover everything from, how to create your vision so that you know where it is that you're headed, because in my experience, I believe that 90% plus of entrepreneurs don't have a clear vision for where they're going. And that's why it makes it really hard for them to get there, right? So we help them really tap into that so that they can then start to plan for that. And we help them, create their unique programs. So separating themselves out from all the other coaches and practitioners that went through their same school and that are coming out with the same exact program that's just very cookie cutter and it's not standing out in the market, to really tap into their zone of genius and pulling together not only their trainings, but their own experience if they've been through their own health journey, or unique thoughts or ways of approaching things that maybe they're the only ones who have that. So their program really stands out. So we help them really to craft that. And then we help them to really set their pricing based on the value of what they're actually providing inside the program, right? So we help them step out of, copying the pricing of another practitioner that they saw, or, just doing what their school told them to do. And maybe it's not based on anything necessarily, or, playing it small and charging a really small amount, and then, kind of burning out because they have to attract so many clients to make any, significant revenue. So we help them to really step into their pricing and feel confident with that. By going through a pricing formula that I've developed exclusively for health and wellness practitioners. And then we go into like a lot of business savvy training, like what it means to actually be a CEO of your company. Even as a solopreneur, you're a CEO. So we go through a lot of training, which I call my confident marketing code, and how to really become a confident CEO and owner of your business and really be that strategy person inside your company. And then we go through, making sure that you have a niche so that there's some specific type of person that you're targeting, so that you're not, spraying and praying and trying to attract everyone. Because in my experience, generalists have a really hard time marketing, because at the end of the day, people are left with saying, well, are you really for me? And can you really help me? Right. And so if they're not clear, they're going to go to the next person that they're crystal clear does help them. So I help them really tap into that and understand that it's not limiting from attracting other people. If anything, it's actually going to magnetize more people to their brand, because more people are going to be clear that they're the practitioner for them. So we help them get really clear on that. And then we dive into a lot of juicy marketing and sales training. I teach them how to actually have a powerful sales call, an enrollment call that's really authentic. So it's called my Sales with Authenticity process, that brings them through a really tried and true script, the same script that I used inside my functional health coaching practice that helped me to land multi-$1,000 clients who were incredible to work with. And that earned me, multiple six figures running this business, which people think, isn't possible, and it is. So I teach them exactly how to do that, how to have a really emotionally and psychologically based conversation with people, and how to work them through objection, things like that. And then we go deep into marketing, because obviously that's a huge part of my background and what I love teaching about. So we go through everything from, how to determine what marketing channels to be on, to how to use social media and get those human-to-human conversations, to how to craft a really powerful post, to how to do lead magnets and nurture your audience, to how to create a sales page, how to launch your programs, all of these marketing topics, and how to really tie it all together. And then kind of as an underlying theme throughout all of this, because I know that entrepreneurs, a lot of us are type A, go, go, go. We really want to do all the things and help all the people. We can end up getting burnt out when we go through all of these things. So kind of an underpinning to all of my training is self-care. And this is something that I've brought deeply into all of my businesses too, because I was a prior, burnt out health coach as well. And it doesn't feel good, and it's not congruent to how we should be showing up for our own clients. So I teach my clients how to bake in self-care throughout their days, and how to also emulate that for their clients. And so that the coaches, these coaches can show up really clear-headed, energetic, excited, and able to run their business while still taking care of themselves. So we kind of cover 360 degrees, everything inside your business and inside you as a person.
Wow, that's so powerful. And I know the audience is like, how do I find you? Like, where can they look for you, and what's next that they can expect that's coming out from not only Kristin Thomas, but also from the Health and Wellness Business School?
Yeah, absolutely. So to learn more and to get in touch with us, to apply to work with us, you can visit our website, healthwellnessbusiness.com. And we're all over social media. So you can check me out on Instagram. It's at Kristin Elizabeth Thomas. And then over on Facebook, you're welcome to friend request me, Kristin Elizabeth Thomas on Facebook. And we have a private Facebook group as well, Health and Wellness Business Success Secrets. So any channel that you're on there, feel free to connect with us, say hello. And we have so much in the works for the rest of this year and 2021. We're going to be relaunching Six Figure Formula in the next couple of months. We have a workshop coming up soon. We have a free Facebook group that I'd love to see you all in, the Health Wellness Business Success Secrets, and lots of other good juicy stuff that I can't release just yet, but we have lots of awesome stuff cooking for early 2021.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kristin. I know that your work is just really leaving a real true impact, not only with health and wellness practitioners, but for those that really need this help, right? Because you're helping them get their message out to the world. Thank you so much for being here. I am just more than honored to work with you and just to see your business help more people. Well, guys, what an interview. Like just imagine yourself, right now, maybe asking, what should I do next? Maybe your family members or someone else is suffering from these type of chronic illnesses. And what could you do to help yourself heal? But could you imagine creating a business around what you do? Can you even imagine that? And that's exactly what's taken place. And, Kristin and her company, the Health and Wellness Business School, is helping change the lives of people and helping people make an income from doing it. See, that's what I love about being a sexy brand. It's taking and creating an idea, right? Create an idea and then take it and expand upon it and turn it into your passion so that you can help other people.